lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
It all comes down to this. One race left for all the marbles. Here tonight from Music City, USA, the Nashville Superspeedway. Welcome to the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series season finale. Tony Trapasso, Liam Irving up in the booth with you tonight for this one. And Liam, welcome to the iSNF. Glad to have you with us tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's been a while since I've been able to call a race with these guys, but these are some of the best you'll see on a Sunday afternoon into the evening. And let's talk about this car count. I mean, we've got over 40 guys ready to race here. I think 45 is the count as of right now, but only 3 of them are racing for a championship. And that, I tell you what, that is something to behold.
Now, the 4 drivers that qualified for the championship, AJ Green, Brian Chu, Jalen Battle, and Curtis Kelly, there's something we do need to discuss, and we're going to bring Rhea Ferris, the chief cook and bottle washer of the iSNF, in for this one to explain to us why there's only 3 drivers racing for today's championship.
Yes, one was disqualified due to ongoing harassment and ongoing rule breaking, etc. And we just couldn't have that stress and aggravation coming into a championship weekend. Sadly, we're down to just 3. But it should allow for some much more peace and quiet and cleaner racing atmosphere without toxicity coming into such an important event such as this one. So pretty happy to, be ready to start this one. Just down one driver.
And we are going to bring in one of those drivers now that we did mention, out of the ATL himself, Mr. Jalen Battle. And Jalen, strong showing so far. You're up there in the timing and scoring, at least during the practice session. What's your game plan here tonight for the race?
I think the game plan just as it is every week. Just go out there, run the best I can. Fast guys are always fast here, and probably going to be a hard one to make some moves and get past. So hopefully we can just get a good qualifying full run in and just stay up front, stay out of trouble, and beat it at the end.
Well done, man. Well, I just want to say, I believe, I'm kind of new here, but I believe you're the only one who raced their way into this Final Four. You got that win at Dover. How does those kind of extra weeks of preparation, do you think you have any sort of advantage coming into this race?
Well, I mean, it's a one race, winner take all kind of situation. So the extra few weeks of not like having to worry about like the plate tracks was like, it was a little helpful, but this is a different track. It's a whole different way of trying to get around this thing. So hopefully I like to think I have a little bit of advantage, but I mean, we'll see what happens out here. But just looking forward to it. It's been a really, really great season. Got a few wins here. Had a pretty put together run at for the playoffs. So hopefully we can bring it home this time.
Best of luck to you, Jalen. We'll let you get back down to final prep with your team.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Well, you heard it there. Jalen Battle ready to rock and roll here tonight. Let's get him back down into Hendrick. There he goes. But, currently sitting atop the pile, or the timing and scoring pylon, is AJ Green. Jalen currently sitting 6th quick. Brian Chu, 10th quick. So all three of the guys that are going to be slugging this out are in the top 10 here in the practice session. That's impressive.
It is, but I know you talk about that top 10. That's a big separation between them. AJ Green has a fast lap of 29.64. Jalen Battle's fastest lap just under a tenth slower than that. And Brian Chu about 2/100ths off of Jalen Battle's time. So, I mean, these guys are realistically on a hot lap within a tenth of each other. But this isn't a hot lap series. This is 134 laps at one of the toughest. I mean, it's the only mile and a third, but one of the toughest intermediates you're going to come across.
Oh, it absolutely is. And, there's a couple things to keep in mind. 134 laps, no fast repairs. Incident limit set at a very paltry 17, which means all you got to do is touch 4 cars and dip a tire into the grass, and you're taking a one-way trip to Dairy Queen, which is only about 1.5 miles from this track. 65% fuel fill, 4 extra sets of tires, so 5 total sets to get it done tonight. Now, the way it works is the set that they qualify on is also the same set that they have to start the race on. They're then laying 4 extra in the pits to get them through all 134 laps. And the only one that's got the hometown advantage right now is Jake Brooks, as he's unfortunately a little bit deeper in the pack than he probably would like to be.
Well, I tell you what, Jake Brooks is going to have a lot of hometown Nashville fans sitting in the virtual crowd here to root him on. That's our hometown hero for this week. And, yeah, like we mentioned, he started a little bit towards the back, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, we've seen the Vikings came back from 33-0 yesterday. So I would say anybody from the top 33 has a chance to win this race.
Sounds like a game plan is qualifying. Getting ready to click on over here. That is finishing the practice session, waiting for qualifying. Survey says. There it goes.
Definitely appreciate everybody tuning in live on YouTube here for the championship race, the season 4 finale at Nashville Superspeedway.
We're waiting to see who's going to be one of the first ones to roll it. Of course, it's going to be the 8 of Joey Maines.
Joey Maines and that RCR number 8, Guaranteed Rate Chevrolet. He's the first one to get out onto the racetrack here. We watch him get back onto the racing surface. Dave Seats John Hopley, AJ Green, Hermie Sadler, Jake
And
Brooks.
hold on, let me interrupt you right there. For those of you wondering, yes, that is the real Hermie Sadler, the NASCAR Cup veteran, driving the number 25 here tonight. So making another start here in the iSNF. Hopefully luck favors him, as he hasn't had the season he was hoping for by any stretch of the imagination.
Definitely still pretty cool, and that just goes to show how cool iRacing is. We've got Hermie Sadler, a Cup veteran, race winner, and some. Sorry, there I got
Joey
tripped up there, but
Maines.
no, we've got Hermie Sadler just out here racing on a Sunday evening. That's pretty cool. I don't know. You never know who you're going to race with, but you mentioned Joey Maines there. Jake Brooks now takes the top of the charts right now. AJ Green gets up in front of him, I believe.
Yep. AJ Green currently sitting quick time. Hermie Sadler back into 7th. And Casey Tomlinson goes 6th quick. Time's coming in hot and heavy right now.
For Maines, and he hits the wall.
Hits the Geico restart zone. As we're going to check in now with the 41 of Tommy Stanley.
Taylor Butcher Benjamin holds on to the pole right now with the 29.85.
That's going to make the boss lady very happy, as that is one of her Penske teammates.
And Villarreal with a quicker time, 29.83.
Villarreal, one of the Black Bumper Brigade that's with us tonight, professional iRacing driver, currently sits quick time. As bear with me here as I'm trying to find, there he is, Brian Chu driving the M&M's 18 Toyota Camry here. See what type of time Chu is going to lay down as he's on his first good flyer. Currently sitting 32nd quick, trying to get that car wound up now. As Green now goes to the top of the pile again. What a lap from Green, 29.74. Good grief. Hometown hero Jake Brooks currently sitting 12th quick. Chu moves up to 20th. And I could find him earlier. There he is. Jalen Battle currently sits 7th quick. Make that 2nd quick.
2nd quick
Holy
after that hot lap.
Cow. Talk about pulling a lap out. Good.
So AJ Green sits on the pole right now. Jalen Battle, a championship contender, sits right behind him. And now Brian Chu trying to improve on his 2nd lap. The 3rd of our 3 championship contenders currently sits in 5th position, trying to improve here to get a little bit closer to his championship rivals. Slides up just a little bit in 3 and 4, but doesn't let off the gas one bit. Let's see what he's got.
He goes
coming
purple
across the line. He's not going to improve his position.
Ooh.
He's actually going to fall down. Carlos Duran Marquez has a pretty good lap there to put him in 5th place in that 44 car. So Brian Chu is going to start in 6th as it sits right now. Just about 30 seconds left to qualifying. A couple of guys might be able to get a lap finished here, but obviously can't get a run started. AJ Green sits on the pole right now. Jalen Battle sits in 2nd place. 3rd place, Johnny Diaz Osorio is out here trying to improve on his lap, but we're watching Steven Sear right now. Remember, 4 laps of qualifying for these guys, so they get a chance to come back into the pits, let those tires kind of cool off. You obviously
Sear's
don't
gonna call
change them, but that's
well then,
it. That is it.
That closes qualifying. Let's take a look at our starting grid tonight. 2 of your chase contenders starting 1 and 2. AJ Green, 29.742. 13 1,000ths of a second difference between himself and Jalen Battle. For those of you wanting to know, that's the distance between the front bumper and the middle of the numbers. on the car. That's how much of a difference that lap was.
I don't know if you ever saw Kurt Busch versus Ricky Craven or Jimmy Johnson versus Clint
Exactly.
Bowyer. But it's closer than that.
Johnny Osorio and Francisco Villarreal going to start in row number 2. Row 3 is going to see Carlos Marquez and Brian Chu with Dave Seats and Ricky Hutchins making up row number 4. Row 5 is going to go to Taylor Butcher Benjamin and Jackson Carr with Rodney Roberts and Angel Hernandez starting in row number 6. Row 7 is going to give us Jason Ricketts and Ethan Wolf. L.W. Wright making his return to the league with Justin Horton. That is row 8. Row 9 is going to see Zach Phillips and Fernando. I'm not even going to try it. I do apologize.
Fernando Diamals.
Sure.
I'll butcher it so you don't have to. But we got Fernando and P18.
And starting in the top, finally rounding out the top half of the field, Jake Brooks, your hometown hero, is going to be rolling off from 19th with Adrian Arenas to his outside. Liam?
Yeah, after that, we've got Christian Delgado rounding out after row number 10. And then Justin Barkley, Jeff Weimer, and Rhea Ferris. Sorry?
Delgado and Barkley are going to roll it from 11.
Row 11, my bad. Yeah. But behind them, we've got Jeff Weimer and Rhea Ferris sitting at P24. Kiko Garcia and Derek Cook in 25 and 26. Hermie Sadler, we watched him qualify. He's going to start 27th in this stacked field. We got Jose Menendez, Isaac Wilson, Maddie Maniac, Casey Tomlinson, Joey Maynes, Steven Sear, another guy we watched in qualifying, Mike Hamlin, Johnny Castle, Michael Iskandar. Getting towards the end here, we got Johnny Castle, seeing Michael Iskandar, oh, my bad, Tommy Stanley, John Hopley, Joshua Gross, Charles Robinson, Tristan Rivers, Brian Treadwell, Clarence Prince, Chris Bamastrict, and Brady Shue rounding out this entirely stacked field. We have 45 drivers ready to take battle here at Nashville Superspeedway. And I tell you what, I'm not used to seeing so many guys show up for a race, but we have ourselves an absolutely stacked field and what should be an incredible show here coming our way.
Absolutely. And being as they just extended the caution, let's take a quick look at our weather conditions coming into tonight. About 10 minutes to 6 here in the time zone. 64-degree ambient air temperature under the lights. 66-degree track temperature, partly cloudy skies. 45% relative humidity, which means these engines are going to be making gobs of horsepower. Only a 3-mile-an-hour wind to speak of, shooting straight down the back straightaway. So clean air is definitely going to be at a premium here tonight. As the lights go out on the Ford Mustang GT 500 pace car, AJ Green going to have the button. Geico restart zone is in effect. Leader's choice is when in that zone they want to pull the trigger. But 5 total sets of tires to get him through this evening. This is going to be a fun one and one for the ages. You're not going to want to go anywhere. Thank you all so much for joining us in the live chat right now. If you haven't done so already, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. As AJ Green tries to build a little heat into those tires. Cold tires are going to be at a detriment here tonight. So something these guys are really going to have to be careful of, guys and gals, going to have to be careful of. As the field works its way through the 3-4 complex, the only thing that's left for me to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some barbecue because it's time to get it on in Music City. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag is out. Field getting a pretty decent getaway so far as Green in battle. Running stem to stern right now into turn number 1. Here comes Orizo to the inside of Villarreal for third. Battle goes up to the second lane, and that's where we're going to see a lot of these guys running tonight. That second lane is going to pay dividends before all is said and done.
You talk about that second lane, but I tell you what, you get much past that, you are in for a world of hurt. There is no grip past that second lane, as we're seeing with the 44 getting sideways coming up off of turn number 4. It's going to be tough. These guys are going to be fighting for the bottom. There's a little bit of space to work with on that second lane, like you mentioned, but we see that Eminem's car getting past as he is struggling up in that second lane there. 44 is still working the outside.
44 is still working the extreme high side. I think he's higher than he really wants to be right now. It's Taylor Butch Benjamin running the low side. The 11 of Dave Seats up there on the second shelf as well. Meanwhile, up in front, AJ Green in control of this one as they're already getting into lap traffic. That's the 43 of Tristan Rivers, who's already sitting a lap down, as is Derek Cook. Both of those drivers electing to pit start. As Francisco Villarreal is up into second as they both get cleanly by the lap car. Jalen Battlemeyer back there in third. But Green currently leading the championship and leading the race up in the front of this piece. There he is. Clemens, North Carolina is where he calls home.
But here comes that 6 Hawaiian King Rose coming down to the inside, down the back straightaway. Made a look coming up off a 2. Looked like he had the run, but nothing doing. It seems like that 6 of Villarreal has every intention of trying to take the lead as soon as he can get a run.
Well, this is indicative of what we saw a year ago here at Nashville when Villarreal won the previous championship for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Showing that he has not lost a stride in the slightest.
Meanwhile, AJ Green out front just trying to figure out where is that next move going to come from. But he's had himself a solid race as the caution has just come out for the first time today. Looks like Brian Treadwell has some trouble in the grass here. We're going to go back and take a look to see what happened. Brian Treadwell is caught up in this one. Looks like John Hopley, maybe Derek Cook as well towards the back.
Oh,
we will see here.
Gets up into Steven Sear, tries to save it, gets down on the apron, and just takes the 19 with him. That's John Hopley. So Treadwell and Hopley, unfortunately, that's our first caution of the night.
Hopley deemed the one to cause that one, gets an EOL penalty for the incident. So unfortunate for any of the 19 fans that might be watching. But,
well, that all started with the 48 getting up into the 5. He was trying to save it, and then the 48 just comes up the track. I don't see how they can put that on Hopley. That's on Treadwell.
I don't know. I'm just kind of calling it like I see it as it pops into the race control thing. Hopley was given the EOL there, which
makes no sense.
We'll double check here. We see the 48 slide up into the 5, and Hopley has nowhere to go as the 48 comes back up into him. And yeah, Tony, I tell you what, I'm a little bit behind as I watch it on the YouTube chat. I'm with you there. That's probably not.
Treadwell he got loose getting into the 5 with Sear. Took it down onto the apron,
not Hopley's fault,
and that shot right up the track, and Hopley had nowhere to go.
I can't really put blame anywhere. You get sideways in a corner like that, it's...
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of them recent deals. I mean, Treadwell was trying to save it. Treadwell's trying to save it, and unfortunately, Hopley just, boom goes the dynamite. So I don't see how they can put that on Hopley.
The call has been made, and the first caution of the race winds up with a multi-car crash on the back straightaway. But no major damage, it seems, to any of those guys. Treadwell, we see, still sitting on the pits for a little while there, but we're getting ready to, I believe we're taking one to green right here. We'll double-check on the pace car, see if it goes out. It does not. So, still got another lap here before we get ready to double it up. But while we have a moment, we can talk about that battle we had up front. It seemed like the number 6 Roush Fenway Kozlowski car was a little bit quicker for the first part of that. I know it was only 5 laps, but looked like he was trying to make some moves, but AJ Green holding that bottom.
Now, here's the thing we've got to be mindful of. AJ Green has a decision to make. does he pick up Jackson Carr on the outside lane, or does he give Jalen Battle a free shot?
You take the inside.
Well, that's going to put Jalen Battle, his contender for the championship, right behind him and giving him basically a free shot to get by Villarreal on the restart. Whereas, if he goes to the outside lane, he can draw Jackson Carr, who is not playing for the championship, by both of them.
I tell you what, it's a tough call, especially with the start being on the leader. And Tony, I know you're trying to create some drama here, but I just don't see any way anybody steps away from the inside. This is not a track where you're going to see the outside be successful. I know he's got a championship contender right behind him. As you see, the call is made to go down to the inside. Jalen Battle, by all means, could get into the back of that 91 and make something happen. But we are only on lap 9 of this race. And if he doesn't do it right, that 91 could come right back to hit him in the back end once again.
Well, here's the thing, and this is something that I've learned about Jalen Battle by watching in the last handful of seasons that I've had the honor of broadcasting this league. Even if it was his own mother, he wouldn't hit them. He would not hit the car in front of him on purpose. You know, even if it's his brother, his mother, family member that he doesn't like, worst enemy, doesn't matter. Jalen Battle's not going to purposely give anyone the chrome horn.
Somebody in the chat asking who's the 45. They also said why would he ever take the top? That would not be a good call. Honey Badger also says Nashville Superspeedway outside won't work, but we've got a restart here. The pace car goes in. Tony, I'll let you take it away.
As the pace car is off, AJ Green has the button as he brings him into the Geico restart zone one more time. Jumps on the loud pedal. Villarreal not getting the start he was hoping for. Jalen Battle was able to get to his inside going into one.
Inside for second. He's got that preferred lane, but here comes the 6 on the top side as they get on the gears. 5 gears in this car compared to 4 as of last year, and now the 6 gets himself a run on the outside. The 13 looking to push him a little bit more forward. The 6 able to get that pass completed via Villarreal into second place as Jalen Battle now defends from the 13 of Jackson Carr. Here comes the 6 all over the back bumper of your race leader. You see him enter wide, try to get cut down. Back coming out of the corner there, tries to almost do a little bit of a crossover. AJ Green not able to get out to a lead, and maybe some contact there for second place as you see the 24 go a little bit wide there, the 13 as well. Jalen Battle, Jackson Carr doing a lot there, but we are 3 wide towards the middle of the pack here, and look at the 44 trying to defend all these spots. Tell you what, that is a gaggle of cars behind him. I would not want to see in my rearview mirror.
Absolutely. That is an angry pack of wolves right now as the 2 Spaniards do in battle in the 33 of Fernando La Paz. I don't have his name written down right, so I do apologize.
You got him, Fernando. I'm sorry, but
Carlos,
Fernando.
Yeah. Carlos Marquez in the high side making it happen. Here comes the 45. You're asking who that was. That is Rodney Roberts out of Clara, Alabama in his rookie season. Matter of fact, I think this is his first start with the Cup Series.
Yeah, sitting here with this 2311 race team, and he's not he's not doing bad. We're sitting here watching him as he's down to the inside of the 44 Michigan Chevy Camaro there. These guys racing side by side. That is the preferred line on the inside. The 44 you see go a little bit wide, but I tell you what, I talk about it's the preferred line to stay on the inside. But if you don't have a good entry, that really kind of ruins your corner entry. As we watch once again, Jalen Battle trying to defend from Jackson Carr, 24 and 13. The caution has just come out once again.
Ooh.
Looks like Clarence Prince has had a problem here in the other 2311. Toyota
Prince
Camry.
involved in that one. Hermie Sadler catching a piece of it. Let's take a look at what happened to Hermie. Here you see him on the low side in that white and black number 25. Working the inside of the lap car that is the 42 of Casey Tomlinson. And it's going to pop up in front of him because that's Clarence Prince. Oi! The 78 was parked sideways. That started with Isaac Wilson. Let's back that up again. Let's take a look at what did happen to Wilson. There he is on the low side, the orange and black 78.
It's just some 3-wide action up in front of these guys.
Oh my. And here comes the boom. This is on board with Hermie Sadler. You're going to see it pop off in front of him.
I mean, it sucks that 78 got sideways. There was nowhere for really anybody to go, and he was doing his absolute best to save it and not hit anything. But Hermie Sadler, nowhere to go.
Ouch.
Tough break.
That is a crunch, folks, and that's definitely not what we were hoping to see. Under caution number 2 of the evening here, working lap 16 of 134. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills. We'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
Sorry about that. We've got ourselves a restart coming up here. AJ Green.
And we are back from Nashville. Lights are out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. AJ Green going to lead us back to green. Liam, what do you say you get us going this time?
Yeah, let's get her done here. We've got AJ Green holding on to the race lead, taking that inside line. Francisco Villarreal up on his outside, but still waiting on that pace car to make that hard left turn. Looking back, we got Jackson Carr, Jalen Battle, Brian Chu has worked his way up into the top 5. Pace car has made that hard left turn, waiting for these guys to get on the gas. Got to wait for that Geico restart zone, and on it they are. And it looks like the outside lane struggled a little bit there. AJ Green with a phenomenal restart here, and Jalen Battle once again to the inside, and this time it looks like he's going to be clear of the 6 car getting into turn number 1.
Villarreal
makes a move down to the inside via rail, trying to get back to the inside of Battle, and Battle, we'll see how he fights this one, getting into turn 3. Moves up almost into that 3rd lane, still rocking the 2nd lane, but it looks like that 6 car, Francisco Villarreal, able to get that job done, make that pass, sits in 2nd once again. However, AJ Green has about a 3-car length lead.
Battle for 3rd, hot and heavy right now, as that's Battle on the low side in the Raptor number 24, down the back straightaway side by side with Jackson Carr. Here comes the 52 of Ricky Hudgens, throwing his head into the mix as Carr just sends it on the outside. Hudgens looking to follow through on the high side. Single file for the...
behind.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, not too far behind these guys. Brian Chu, who now takes... he's going to have to defend from this 22. We've seen the 18 and 22 get together plenty of times on the NASCAR Cup side. This time it's a clean pass, and now comes the 45 of Rodney Roberts trying to make that pass over Brian Chu. Meanwhile, the 38 just behind these guys trying to figure out which is the best way to go.
That is Zach Phillips Sr. trying to follow him through. The Adrian, Michigan native trying to get into the, or it is in the top 10 as Carlos Marquez rounds out your top 10. Ethan Wolf stalking him right now. Here comes the 45 of Roberts down to the low side, throws the block on the 38 of Phillips. Down the back straightaway they come as the battle for 3rd, hot and heavy again, battle for 4th between Jalen Battle on the high side, Hudgens on the low side. Taylor Butcher Benjamin right there with him.
We were almost 3 wide. Obviously, we're watching this phenomenal battle here for 4th place. Almost 3 wide coming up off of turn number 2. And who was the big loser in that? Brian Chu. He falls his way now back to 11th place. He's outside of the top 10. Once again, one of our 3 championship contenders. And now he has a Colin racing car all over his back bumper. Here comes the 31 of Christian Delgado to try to take 11th place away. He's got that biggie bag car right behind him, giving him a push, and a Penske car behind them. Tell you what, this mid-pack battle just never stops.
It's been like this all season long, and don't look now, but that's the boss lady making her way up through this beast. As I take that back, that's Jake Brooks, your hometown hero in the deuce tonight. Nashville is where he calls home. Would love nothing better than a good finish here at his home track, working with Angel Hernandez in the Hunt Brothers number 4. As these guys are picking him up and laying him down. Brian Chu, though, has to figure out how to stop the hemorrhaging.
And we have a pack behind Brian Chu as these guys are trying to figure out. You see the 2 move up to the top side. He was later on the brakes than Brian Chu was and had to make a reaction. And now we're looking at 3 wide coming up off of turn number 2. These guys think a little bit better of it. You see that number 16 there as well. That is L.W. Wright trying to figure out a way around this entire pack. I tell you what, Brian Chu is just not having a good time right now. He has fallen back all the way outside of the top 15 and continues to be falling back as he sits in 17th place right now, getting passed once again there by the 47.
Well, Brian Chu is one that knows how to play long ball in racing, does not abuse his equipment, and I believe everybody else is going just a little bit harder than he's comfortable going here in the early going, as we're not even halfway through this tire run yet.
No, we just crossed 25 laps complete. I know we had a couple of quick cautions, but we've seen a lot of good green flag racing.
Top 4 have gotten pretty strung out right now as AJ Green leads by about 5 car lengths back to Francisco Villarreal, and then you're a full second back to that man in the 13. That is Jackson Carr. Jalen Battle is about 10 car lengths off of him, and then it starts to get a little bit tighter back around 5th, 6th, as Taylor Bush Benjamin looks through the inside of Ricky Hudgens coming through the trial.
Yeah, that 22 Auto Trader Pennzoil Ford Mustang is looking mighty fast there as he works the inside, trying to get around that 52 Ford Mustang as well. That's a tough pass to make, and that 52 is actually putting on a phenomenal fight up on the top side. That 22 is sliding up just a little bit. Taylor Benjamin could not quite keep the bottom, or keep the car on the bottom, and that is just giving Hutchins enough to keep his nose up in front.
Double B in the double deuce, looking to gain some more spots. Your biggest mover right now is right back there in 13th spot, though. That is the 14 of Charles Robertson III, who we just saw win the Xfinity Championship a little over an hour ago. Currently sitting plus 27 in 13th.
He is doing double duty today, not taking any time to celebrate. He's out here. He knows he doesn't have a chance at the championship here. But Charles Robertson, having himself a blast out here today. And we still watch as this battle for 5th place continues on. Taylor Butcher Benjamin holds onto the position right now. It looks like the 52 had himself a chance to slide back to the inside, but here he comes, fighting once again up on the outside, coming out of 4. He's going to have himself a run, possibly the advantage as they get into turn 1. No, the inside lane does a little bit more for that Pennzoil car.
Especially deeper into the tire run like they're getting, that second lane is going to start to pay bigger and bigger dividends. We saw it in the Xfinity race. On the older tires, you want to be in that second lane. As we are back under caution, looks like, Mike Iskandar is parked on the exit of 2. Let's take a look at what happened to the Coca-Cola 99.
This is our 3rd caution of the race. We'll take a quick look to see what happened here coming through 3 and 4.
See the 19 of John Hopley right behind him, as Hopley was caught up in one of the earlier melees. And just, a little bit of the old Spanish Archer there, the old elbow coming in the middle of 1 and 2, and around goes Iskandar.
Definitely a tough break for that 99 car. Those guys hoping for a good run to finish out the season as they work into next season. But yeah, a little bit of contact gets them around, and not a whole heck of a lot of damage to that car. It shouldn't hurt him too bad, but we see him make that hard left turn there. He's going to come into the pits either way. Just double check everything, get a new set of tires, and
looks like wholesale pit stops for everybody here.
oh, absolutely. 33 laps into the race, and especially you mentioned 4 tire sets. This splits it in a good way.
As Kiko Garcia in the Pit Viper 50, he's going to stay out and inherit the lead of the race. Steven Sears stays with him. Tristan Rivers also staying out in the 43. So your top 3 cars all staying out. Last time they were down pit road was lap 15. Steven Sears was last down under the first caution on lap 6. As AJ Green winning the battle off pit road, taking fuel only. Big surprise there for the 91, as just about everyone else taking 4 and fuel. So the freshest tires on track are going to belong to that man out of Westlaco, Texas. Your technically defending series champion, Francisco Villarreal. So going to be interesting to see what happens here on the restart.
Yeah, I've got to wonder if the 91 is thinking clean air is the way to go versus fresh tires. If it is true, he did not take tires there. And
well, the problem is he's not even going to have the clean air as Kiko Garcia stays out. And that's got to be really making the 19 upset, because he was hoping to get the wave around. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen now, as the 50 decided to stay. And he's going to have to drop to the tail end, as he is a lap car. Hopley not a happy camper right now.
oh, he's trying to plead his case right now, saying I should be on the lead lap right now. But unfortunately for him, that 50 car stayed out on the racetrack. Couldn't quite get between the pace car and the leader, so he's going to have to fall back.
hate to see it happen, especially to such a nice guy as John Hopley is, one of the Canadian contingent here tonight. Matter of fact, the only Canadian contingent here tonight, as we've got 5 representatives from Spain, 1 from Mexico, 1 from Canada, no Swedes, which really surprised me when I saw that, as normally this is a Swedish heavy field. Unfortunately,
This is an American heavy field.
it is tonight, but normally there are quite a few Swedes competing for race wins here in the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. As the field comes across the start-finish line, we have lights out on the Ford Mustang GT500 pace car.
And 2 interesting points I want to make before we get to the restart here. Obviously, Tony talked about how this is, it seems to be quite the international league. A lot of Americans are here, which is kind of where iRacing is based. But we do have a bunch of Spaniards up in here. I believe 5.
We have had 8 countries represented.
Canadian, we've got,
8 countries have been represented at least once during the season.
We're
a couple of the
ignorant
road
Americans.
courses.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but we've had Canada, Sweden, Mexico, Slovakia, Mexico, the UK, Ireland. We've had a lot of countries represented here, and it's great to see these international fields. We
can't even tell you how much we appreciate you guys just joining us on iRacing, let alone racing in a league, especially one like this where you've got 45 drivers showing up for a championship race. But that pace car has made the hard left turn. We're jumping back into the Geico restart zone with 2 drivers on the front row with old tires. Let's see how this plays out. And a phenomenal restart there out of Kiko Garcia in the 50. Gets himself about 2 car lengths over the side-by-side battle for second, which is no more. Being able to get down to the bottom here, and it looks like he's going to be able to get side-by-side coming up off of turn number 2. Tries to, not quite able to. We're 3 wide racing for 5th place. But here comes the 91 of Green back down to the inside, trying to keep that spot over the 6, and uses the 50 as a pick. Almost able to get back to the race lead. Takes that inside lane. I believe he'd led that lap across the line.
He did, as Jackson Carr going to look to follow him through. Villarreal going to have to slot back in.
Yellow.
Oh.
Everybody is trying to jump down to the bottom. You see the 13, a big crash has
That's
brought
a parking
out
lot.
caution once again. Yes, it is. The 47 you see sideways, the 5 sideways as well, and everybody stopped up to avoid. We're going to go ahead and try to decipher what happened here.
Well, the first name that's popping up is going to be the 47 of Josh Grosser. There you see him in the Sunny D47. Mired in traffic right now.
So coming across the start-finish line.
Oh, there it goes.
The 45 gets sent sideways, comes all the way back up across the track, and nowhere for the 47 to go. Flips the 11, gets him turned around, and...
Oh, my goodness.
That was something else.
Yeah, it definitely was. As we're going to take a look at what did happen here. It's going to pop off in front of him. There's the 45, goes up into the 47. The 11, nowhere to go. Gets into the 2.
The 2.
The 17, though. Oh, my goodness. So we're going to watch this again, and we're going to try to go on board. This is on board with Derek Cook. This is what he saw.
Tough one.
So it's going to pop off there. He can't see it. He can't see it. He's off the throttle, on the brakes, and just the track never cleared itself. Normally, this is one of those self-cleaning tracks with as much banking as there in the corners here, and that time it didn't do it.
No, not at all. It stayed up towards the top, and kind of uncharacteristic for a track like this with this much banking, but
And this is what happened
we
to the
watched the
two of Brooks. Hometown track advantage, not at all what Brooks was hoping for, as he was leaning on the 8 of Iskandar, and unfortunately the 11 bouncing off the 47 just comes down into him.
almost had it through. You could tell he was trying to turn as much to the left as he could, but unfortunately another car was there. Couldn't quite make it happen, and yeah, tough deal for Jake Brooks there in the 2, but the 8, however, a little bit of contact, gets through okay.
This is what happened with Derek Cook. You know, as we said, we could see him jumping on the binders. He's off the throttle, he's on the brakes, and the track is just blocked. 47, he guessed wrong, and then it just accordions behind him. Wow.
A lot of pit stops happening right now. Talking about damaged cars especially. Guys like Jarrett Cook, Matty Moniak,
You know, with no fast repairs, they kind of have to at this point.
Absolutely, no fast repairs. It's a big thing to be focused on, but a lot of guys taking these repairs.
So AJ Green, Jackson Carr, Kiko Garcia, Francisco Villarreal, Brian Chu, Fernando Villapaz, Jalen Battle, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, Zach Phillips, Christian Delgado rounding out your top 10. Working lap 40 of 134 here tonight for the season finale for the Sunday Night Fever Cup Series, presented by the iSNF. Tony Trapasso and Liam Irving back in the booth with you for this one as the lights go out on the pace car. And Liam, you're pretty new to this league. What are you thinking so far?
I'm thinking a few things. I'm thinking that 91, virtually unstoppable. I'm also thinking that new tires are probably going to be important right now. So I'm kind of fond of the 6's position right now. Also the 13 sitting on the outside of that front row, but we've seen the 6 running up front, trying to chase down the leader. Now he's got fresher tires.
Well, Carr and
that
Villarreal
might open it all up for everybody to, if AJ Green falls into the clutches of the pack.
Well, if you take a look at who has them and who doesn't, AJ Green does not. Jackson Carr and Villarreal did put them on back on lap 55. Kiko Garcia stayed out. Velitas stayed out. Fuel only for those guys. Brian Chu took fuel only, and then Taylor Butch Benjamin is the next set of fresh shoes. So let's see what's going to happen here.
Green flag.
As green flag comes back out, Green jumps on the loud pedal. Carr, asleep in the switch, catches the chrome horn from Villarreal.
Carr was actually in front of the leader when they got to the zone, and now Villarreal had to react because the 50 was to his inside. Maybe didn't know it initially. We're 3 wide for 7th place behind him. As you see the 22, we've seen them being fast throughout the course of this race. Jalen Battle just in front of this group here, but we're 3 wide right now with the 38, the 31, and the 22 did his best to stick with it. Taylor Butcher Benjamin could not. Now he is back on the outside of the 14 of Charles Robertson, trying to figure out just how these things are going to play out. And I tell you what, I'm trying to figure it out as well. As a race for the lead has just changed. Jackson Carr able to get around the 91. Francisco Villarreal also all on the back bumper of the 91. We've seen that plenty of times today, but for the first time, we have a new race leader. As you see the battle for second place opening up now. Here comes the 6. That Roush Fenway Kozlowski car getting down to the inside. Should be able to get that job done. Clears into turn number 1. And now we've got ourselves a battle for the championship as AJ Green tried something, stuck around on old tires, is now falling towards the rest of this pack. And I tell you what, Tony, they look mighty fierce.
And the bad news for AJ Green, Jalen Battle did take tires back on lap 32.
So Jalen Battle now puts himself into 4th place. Nobody separating him and his championship rival, AJ Green. Brian Chu has recovered from the loss that he had at the first run we had, or not first run, but the last run we had there, as we're 3 wide right behind him at 33, trying to figure out where to go as Fernando falls a couple of spots. But Brian Chu sitting in 10th place right now, trying to catch up to these guys as Jalen Battle gets ever so closer to the back bumper of AJ Green.
Well, I don't know how well it's going to work for Chu, considering that he's mired in a group of cars that did take tires back on lap 32. Chu only took fuel the last time he was down pit road, and it's showing right now is definitely dirty air and old tires are not the greatest combination. We're almost 3 wide up here.
Yeah, that was a moment right there with the 91 AJ Green. Jalen Battle was able to get around, and now AJ Green has a fierce pack sideways, or not sideways. We got sideways in the back. The 31 got sideways. Contact between the 50 and the 4. This is an eventful corner there, and there's a lot to break apart there that we're not going to be able to right now.
Holy
but still
cow.
Side by side. I don't know how that wasn't a caution. I wouldn't say I'm hoping for a caution. I was just hoping for a break to break down what just happened in turns 1 and 2 right there.
Well, they all kept him pointed in the right direction, and that's half the battle. Speaking of battle, he is your current chase leader right now. Jalen Battle, 3rd on track, 1st in the championship, as AJ Green is continuing to backslide. And unfortunately, Brian Chu has just slipped back down to 20th. So old tires, not where you want to be at all. So every time you can get tires, you're going to want to take them here for the remainder of this race. There's Christian Delgado in the 31, just stalking AJ Green right now, as that is an angry pack of Hornets behind him with Justin Horton in the 62. Charles Robertson up 33 spots in that 14. There he is in that Rush Truck Centers as the 62 bangs the wall coming off 4. Everybody trying to take evasive action to stay off of him right now, as here comes Taylor Butch Benjamin and Ricky Hudgens trying to make some headway.
And we had
3 wide.
Just hit lap 50. These guys are balls to the wall. These guys are putting everything they can out there. And we're not even halfway. We just crossed lap 50. These guys are absolutely putting on the best show that we could ever see.
Better than we could have even hoped for at this point in time. And
You
Zach
said better
Phillips,
words than I did.
Zach Phillips looking to go 3 wide again, sending it on the outside lane.
There he is up on the top side. And we got a crash.
Hudgens
The
is
52
around.
gets turned sideways. The 8 hard into the wall as well. It looks to be a smaller incident, but the 11 has nowhere to go. And the 48 as well, as everything is stopped up. He did everything he could to lock up on the brakes. That ends up being about a 5-car incident, and that is one of the downsides about having such a large field, is that when a crash happens in front of you, you not only have to worry about the crash, but the drivers in front of you. We watched this 3-wide action. Looks like the 14 and 31 almost touched. 38 has to go wide.
Oh.
And when the 8 tries to give him room, he hooks the 52.
Well, the 52 was coming up the track. Let's watch that again. Wow, that was a hit. Let's watch this again.
I don't doubt that, but it looks like when the 8 tried to give room on the top side, that's what brought him down.
Yeah, but the 52 was coming up. Watch that yellow line. Watch how far he comes off of it. Goes up into the 8. Doesn't realize he's in a 3-wide situation. And here comes... Oh!
A really bad deal for Dave Seats in the 11. That was hefty contact. You saw the 48 make a little bit of contact with the back bumper there of Ricky Hudgens, but really tough break there for the 11. That's hefty contact and likely a lengthy repair if he can get back out on the racetrack.
Well, I can tell you right now, the last thing that went through Dave Seats' mind as that accident happened. As we're on board with seats now, you'll see it pop off in front of him.
Well, he's got a blind spot there. There's a crash, there's a caution.
He was on the brakes. I mean, he was trying to get it
He
wound
was
down.
hard on the brakes.
It was just parting of the sea.
Trying not to hit the cars to his outside, but just got himself in a spot where there was nowhere to go, which absolutely stinks, but we can maybe take a little bit of solace about the fact that he was able to get on the gas and drive away from that.
Well, I can tell you the last thing to go through his mind before that accident happened, or as that accident happened, it was his own eyeballs. As there's our first or second, thank God this is a simulator moment of the night. Working lap 53 of 134 here from Nashville. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
It's over.
And we are back for the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series season finale, as we are under caution number 5, I believe. Let me double check that stat.
Believe 5 is
Caution
correct.
5.
We've got ourselves a restart coming out here, and Jackson Carr, for the first time all night, is going to be restarting from the lead. This is the first time that we haven't had the 91 of AJ Green as your race leader. His last pit was lap 52, which basically means he came in to get some tires this last time after finding out no tires doesn't work. Now he's going to have a field to get through. But Jackson Carr and Francisco Villarreal, Ethan Rolfe, Jalen Battle now leads the championship fight here, as you see that 26 get a little squirrely. Green flag back in the air, and the inside once again gets clear by a couple of car lengths. And here comes the 24 Jalen Battle trying to take second place away. Once again, the 6 and the 24 battling for the second spot. This time it's not with championship implications, but every single time the 6 has been able to get the job done. Now here comes the 14 to the inside, looking to try to make it 3 wide potentially. Charles Robertson unable to get that, well, I tell you what, that 24 went a little bit wide. Still side by side coming out of turn 4 into 1. We'll see what it pans out to.
Well, Robertson making the best of what he can right now, plus 37, currently sits in third. Jalen Battle's got to be thinking big picture right now. He doesn't need to win the battle to win the war, as Villarreal and Carr go door to door for the race lead. Villarreal on the low side, Carr on the top shelf. Coming out of turn number 4, Carr going to carry a little bit more momentum. Coming to the stripe, giving the car by half a car.
It's going to be tough.
Oh!
Caution has just come out, and Carr is going to hold on to the race lead. Let's double check to see what happened. We see Hudgens headed towards the pits here, but the caution has just come out for the 6th time today. We're going to go ahead and see what happens here.
We've got Hudgens on the replay. There you see him on the top shelf as the 27 catches the apron. Oh!
Oof. Kind of an awkward spot.
Very awkward spot. I have no idea why Hudgens just jumped on the binders like that. Let's go on board with him and see if we can see anything this way.
I wonder if there was maybe some sort of disconnection, or if he maybe just decided I have to come to the pits right now. And unfortunately, some other guys behind him made contact here.
I'm hearing his screen went blank.
That would make sense based on what we're looking at here, or based on what we just saw with the onboard camera, I should say.
Yep, screen went blank. Connection issues for Hudgens. And he has put it on the hauler as Jackson Carr going to bring it down pit side. That's going to hand the lead of the race over to Francisco Villarreal. There he is. Battle goes pit side. Carr goes pit side. Which would make sense considering
Green
that
loves this.
Yeah, AJ Green and Brian Chu are both loving this, as that is now your battle for the championship, with Rhea Ferris separating the two.
Outside of the top 10, I don't expect it to stay that way, but the battle for the championship, sitting in the mid pack, I tell you what, that's fun to me. We've still got a race for the lead, though, a race for the win. Francisco Villarreal has finally made his way to the lead. However, as much as we saw him try, was not able to get that pass done under green flag conditions. We know that 6 car is fast, that King Hawaiian's roll. Ford Mustang is going to be quick, but I got to wonder if he wanted to make that pass under green.
He probably did, but
A little bit of a flex if you get it done that way.
yeah, absolutely. But I'll tell you right now, Charles Robertson has looked strong in that Rush Truck Center's number 14 for Stuart Haas tonight, as has Christian Delgado, 2 of your biggest movers. And don't count out Tristan Rivers either, as he's plus 34, currently sitting back there inside the top 10 in 7th. Had some problems in the early going, but got those sorted out, and he's had a steady climb forward as well. So, you know, take a look at your top 10 right now. Villarreal is plus 3. Robertson is plus 38. Christian Delgado in 3rd is currently plus 18. Taylor Butcher Benjamin is plus 5. Justin Horton is plus 11. Angel Hernandez is plus 6, back in 6th. Tristan Rivers plus 34 in 7th. Justin Barkley is plus 14 in 8th. Jeff Weimer in 9th is plus 14. And Jason Ricketts is plus 3. That's your top 10. Everybody moving in the right direction anyways. Unfortunately, AJ Green minus 10 right now. One of your biggest movers in the wrong direction.
Yeah, you talk about everybody moving in the right direction, but a couple of names I want to bring up moving in the wrong direction. Ricky Hudgens, we've seen the 52 car caught up in a couple of incidents. He is down 27 spots from where he started, sits 35th from his 8th place starting spot. The only one who has lost more spots than him is the 45 of Rodney Roberts.
And both of those guys are on the hauler.
The front. They are on the hauler, but biggest losers of the day in terms of spots lost. Clearly not losers. They come and race with these guys. This is a good group. So, not trying to say they're losers, but position losers.
Yeah, definitely going in the wrong direction. Let's put it that way. As the
But the
lights
lights
are
are
out.
Lights are off on the pace car here. That number 6, King's Hawaiian Roll. I tell you what, I'm fond of that paint scheme.
I'm fond of the rolls.
You and me both. Here we go. But, yeah, no, the lights are officially on here at Nashville Superspeedway. This has become a night race as the pace car comes through to lead these guys through 3 and 4, waiting for that hard left turn to get us some more action. That 31 of Christian Delgado, rather, is all up on the back bumper of the 6. Here these guys come into the restart zone. Green flag is out. And once again, I think it's pretty standard, but the leader on the inside gets about 3 car lengths getting down into turn number 1 as we're side by side for second.
I believe the phrase is drop a gear and disappear as that battle for second hot and heavy as Robertson on the top shelf. Delgado going to let him slot back in as he throws the block on Taylor Butcher-Benjamin. Butcher-Benjamin looks to the inside, going into 3. Delgado slams the door on him. Here comes the 62 of Justin Horton. Angel Hernandez caught on the high line as Tristan Rivers works the inside, coming through the tri-oval. Single filed for your top 5. Battle for 6th. Hot and heavy right now.
Yeah, that is a hot and heavy battle. As you see the 4 car go a little bit wide. That's going to give the 43 of Tristan Rivers. Oh, almost gave him the position, but the 4 car with a phenomenal run coming out of turn number 2 keeps it steady up there, continues to fight. But the 91 of AJ Green is right behind this. Is contact with the wall there. And a little bit of contact between cars as the 4 got the wall coming up off of 4 and bounced back into the 43. These guys are absolutely putting everything they can on the racetrack right now as the 43 tries to slide up and into the wall goes the 95. Around goes the 91 as well. AJ Green caught up in this crash. They spun to the inside so the caution doesn't come out. But AJ Green is recovering from a spin on the inside line. No fast repairs and looked like he got hit heftily from the right side. We're going to go ahead and double check this. But AJ Green.
Let's go back and take a look at what did happen here. There you see Green in the caboose of this freight train. As those guys are battling hot and heavy. Almost a 3-wide situation.
The wall.
Yep, 55 catches the wall there, bounces down into Green. They both spin into the grass on the back chute. No caution out as they're well out of the racing line. And AJ Green has got to be pretty dejected right now.
Absolutely. He's got to be hoping for a caution and a lap back, more than likely. I can't imagine, as you see him walking the inside right now, he's made it to the pits. I can't imagine a quick repair for that. You know, obviously no fast repairs, but that was a hefty hit to the right side.
And
imagine that would lead to a little bit of a lengthy repair as we continue on.
Look who came out on the winning end of that exchange. Brian Chu sits in 10th, leading the championship. He's working the inside of Jason Ricketts in that raised energy. Down the back straightaway they come. Chu with a good head of steam going into 3. Ricketts giving him plenty of room on the high side. Chu trying to follow Delgado through.
Rickett makes contact with the 50. Coming out of turn number 4, Chico Garcia, and it looks like Fernando trying to take advantage of this, getting down into turn number 1. Little bit of contact though, but like you mentioned, Tony, Ryan Chu is sitting in 9th place now, holds on to the championship lead. Jalen Battle sits in 15th, and it's a tough deal for AJ Green, who still sits on the pits. He is multiple laps down at this point and is virtually out of the championship fight.
Well, he ripped the front suspension off the car. He ripped the suspension off the car when he hit the wall. I mean, that's heartbreaking right there. As we're going to watch this battle with the 43 of Tristan Rivers and Angel Hernandez still going door to door. Those guys have not gotten away from each other since the drop of the green. since the last restart. As Brian Chu all over the back bumper of Rivers now looks to the high side coming through the trioval.
And I do just want to say, for any salty Major League Baseball fans, this is not the Angel Hernandez you're thinking of. This is a race car driver as they come up out of turn number 2. Here comes Fernando down to the inside to the 43, trying to make a move, getting down, and he's going to complete the pass. He gets 2 done in 1 run. Now here comes the 50 back up to the top side. Was there potentially contact to get that 33 sideways? Fernando with a huge run down to the inside, hoping to clear that 50 of Kiko, getting down into turn number 1, and I believe Fernando's going to get that job done. Racing for 9th place right now.
La Paz is finally getting that
Here
rust away
comes
from
the
his,
50 back to the inside.
making a move on his fellow countryman. That's Kiko Garcia in that pit Viper number 50, trying to make some headway. He's getting back into the top 10 as La Paz sits in 10th. Kiko Garcia up to 8th as Chu all over the back bumper of Angel Hernandez going into 1 and 2. Not pushing the envelope too much as Brian Chu's
Caution has just come out
big
once again.
picture.
The yellow flag is out.
Justin
We've got a
Barkley.
spin. 55. We'll double check, see what happened with the 55 sideways there. 91, you see back out on the racetrack. I wonder if, looks like some, maybe
extracurriculars.
some salt from a previous
the previous incident between those two.
Yeah, I think there was just a little bit too much salt left from that last bag of chips. And
yeah, that's a receipt right there.
You said it. I tried to make an analogy. There is.
And you can see it, Green just turns down into him.
Green is upset. He's lost the chance at a championship because of what the 55 did coming out of 2. He hit the wall, and I mean, you can say what you will. Hit the wall and bounce it back down into somebody. It doesn't really happen on purpose. But AJ Green clearly upset. He's lost the chance to race for the championship, and I tell you what, might not have made the same move, but I don't blame him for being upset one bit.
Oh, that's something that the league admins are going to have to take a look at. You know, AJ Green had a chance coming into today at winning both the Xfinity and the Cup championship. Unfortunately, in the Cup race, or in the Xfinity race, had connection issues and could not finish. Now, here in the Cup race, he might not finish again.
I don't know. It's a tough break for AJ there to lose a championship. I wasn't here for the Xfinity race, but a tough break for him to lose the championship on a crash. But I don't know. I think there's probably a little bit better of a way to conduct yourself when things don't go your way. And
well, the only driver to stay out.
I get the frustration.
Yeah, no, you definitely get the frustration. Well, the only driver to stay out here under this caution is Brian Chu, as he was last down pit road under the last caution back on lap 52. Kiko Garcia winning the battle off pit road, taking fuel only.
And Kiko Garcia sitting in that second spot, that 3 Tracker Boats Bass Pro Shops car. Notice those green wheels. That's not going to be something you see moving forward, but that is definitely an identifier that sets you separate from the rest of the group. Nice to see that little bit of neon here, especially under the lights, but
I'm kind of digging what I'm seeing on the 14. Charles Robertson's running the chrome wheels tonight, digging those.
Always a fan of chrome wheels, especially in real life, because when they hit the brakes and they get brake dust all over those things, you know You know, those
It-
things are Michael
it's-
Waltrip Racing.
It is going to be a
Made
fire.
him look good. But yeah, big fan of chrome wheels, and also personally a fan of any wheels that are not normally colored.
Matte black.
That is, I'm also a matte black fan. But also something we won't be seeing in the future here.
Ooh. That's interesting. Brian
That is
Chu
interesting.
taking the outside.
I tell you what.
And there's the reason why right there, looking to carve off Francisco Villarreal right behind him. What is this?
I'm not sure what this is. It looks like Johnny Osorio has...
Somebody might want to let Johnny know that he's restarting in third to the inside.
Yeah, Johnny's
He doesn't
get
there is no choose cone. They might need to extend this caution as we've got drivers out of line right now.
I believe it's just the one. I think everybody's ready to go except for the one car up on top there.
Yeah, well, we're
Johnny
3 wide.
Osorio. Yeah. We're going to have to extend this more than likely. I don't make those calls.
Somebody better do something quickly.
Hang on, we're not going.
There it is.
I would imagine Rhea's probably on the horn to let that one car know he's got to get to the inside of row number 2.
I have no idea what he's doing.
I have no idea either. He's
there he goes.
Getting down in line now. So yeah, here we go. I'm not sure.
Choose cone is not in effect yet. They're hoping to have that ready for iRacing Season 2 in late February. Then we might be able to see a choose cone like they have in the real world of NASCAR, but as of right now, it is no such animal. As Brian Chu going to have the button as we get ready to turn him back loose. Kiko Garcia, Johnny Osorino, and Francisco Villarreal, your top 4 starting spots.
Just a quick thing, like we were kind of confused about before the one car was going 3 wide under caution. The 18, the race leader, taking the outside for the first time today. Anybody has taken the outside. We've got Kiko Garcia to his inside now. We've seen more often than not the leader is able to get a good lead. But maybe that outside could it potentially be a little bit slower, getting towards the Geico restart zone. Green flag coming. Green flag. And it is out, and a nice start from the top side. And that's going to give Francisco a nice chance to clear for second. He's got a car length clear over the 50. Kiko Garcia seems to be falling back, and the one as well, trying to figure out which lane to defend. We got a spin in the back. I believe the 99 Michael Iskandar has gotten turned around, and everybody else just trying to get through it. The 12 and the 19 sideways as well. Looks like Rhea Ferris was involved in this one. The 5 once again caught up in a crash. Steven Sear not having the greatest of days, but let's go ahead and double check to see what happened here to bring out the caution.
Well, it's showing me Matty Moniak is one of the ones involved. There he is in the 9. I think it's going to pop off in front of him, though.
I saw a red car get sideways out of 2.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure who it was.
Probably John Hopley. Well, there's the 99 of Iskandar on the top shelf. Let's see if we can find him. Oh, there it is. The 26 gets sideways, and all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, Rhea right behind had nowhere to go. The contact sent her around.
Oh, no.
Quickly double check.
Mike Iskandar has received the Dairy Queen Award.
Well, that's Big news. The 38 got into the back of the 26 and got him turned around, and Rhea had nowhere to go.
There you see the 99 disappear. That's disqualification. Rhea Ferris is around. The 19 is around. Steven Sear caught a piece of it as well. Let's take a look from the 5. Excuse me, the 5. And Hellsberg, number 27, got a good run and just gets into the back of Iskandar, and oh, baby.
Yeah, it's a really tough break for that 99. We saw him get kicked out due to incident points. It's a 17-point limit here in this league. I mean, you've got to race clean. And there's a reason that we've got 40 people showing up for these types of races, because people generally race clean and have a good time. But when you're making too much contact, that's why that rule's in effect. And it's kind of a tough break for the 99. I know he wasn't the cause of a lot of those deals, but
gets involved nonetheless.
Yeah, saw him get booted from the race.
So let's check in with our championship contenders. Brian Chu, your current race leader. Jalen Battle, there he is back in 13th after taking tires under the last caution. Unfortunately, didn't have enough time to try to make anything happen with them after the green flag came back out. Brian Chu was last down pit road on lap 52. So, I mean, it's really a two-horse race left right now, as AJ Green is multiple laps down, back in 33rd. So, what could have been?
Yeah, he's out of this race, obviously due to the contact and also due to the retaliation he put on.
He's still driving.
He's still driving. But I can't imagine that helped any repairs. Either way, Jalen Battle sits in 13th place right now. He's got Brian Chu. Is basically his only one to worry about. Brian Chu leading this race. We are waiting for the 1 to green call.
Here we go.
It is up to the top side. It goes the 6. And like Tony mentioned last time around, no choose cone. The leader is the only one who gets to make that call where they want to start. This time, Brian decides I want the inside.
Francisco Villarreal going to restart to his outside. Now, Villarreal is one of the best restarters in the league when he doesn't have the button. However, Kiko Garcia has been strong all night in that pit viper number 50. And the thing to keep in mind, too, Villarreal is the only one on fresh tires in the top 5 right now. Or has the freshest tires, let's put it that way.
Yeah, so that's definitely something we got to keep an eye on here as this restart comes about. The 18, Brian Chu, trying to make something happen, maybe win a race to seal the championship. Obviously, we got VRL, Kiko.
He's got to keep big picture in mind, though. He has to keep big picture in mind that he doesn't need to win this battle to win the war. He just needs to survive.
Green, green, green.
Jumps on the loud pedal, and we are back underway.
Once again, the leader, 3 car lengths of a lead. This time, Francisco doesn't have a battle for second. Let's see how he runs turns 1 and 2 to try to chase down the leader on older tires. And it looks like a mighty quick battle there, as we've got the 22 looking down to the inside of the 1. Osorio makes the pass quite easily, and here comes Fernando trying to follow him through as that 1 car goes wide. Fernando gets the job done. Now let's see if Christian Delgado can try to make the pass on Osorio. Meanwhile, up front, Brian Chu trying to hold on to the race lead on older tires at Francisco Villarreal. He is, well, we mentioned Francisco pitted latest for tires, looking to the bottom, holds that bottom, but here we come out of turn number 4. Francisco down to the inside. Looking at the race lead. We're 3 wide in the back, but Francisco trying everything he can to try to take this thing, and here he does it.
Take a look at that lap time. Villarreal just laid down a 29.75, fastest lap of the event.
And that was a lap that gave him a chance to take the lead. As you see that 18 is sliding up just a little bit wider. Here comes the 22, looking back down to the inside of him, Taylor Butcher Benjamin, as we see a little bit of smoke and a host of cars behind him.
Double B and the Double Deuce working the inside of Kiko Garcia right now. That is your battle for third, as Butch Benjamin able to make the move stick. Checking back here, that is an angry pack of Hornets behind him. And look who's mired right in the middle of that slugfest. That is your chase contender, Jalen Battle, up into 11th. And he's mired in traffic right now. He's got to figure out how to get loose and get some clean air to get that car up full song.
He had a touch of clean air right there as he's working the outside of the 8. And as you see the 14 getting a little bit squirrely, and the 1 car getting caught up in the middle. Here comes Jalen Battle making the top side of a 3 wide move at a 2-groove racetrack work. And now here comes the 16 of LW Wright on his outside. GB Cooper trying to figure out how to heist this plane.
The DB Cooper of NASCAR, we might. The DB Cooper of NASCAR.
Didn't have a better joke, but, you know, here comes LW Wright. Sitting inside the top 10, that's 10th place right there as we're side by side behind him. Zach Phillips trying to keep Joey Maines on the back end of it, but Joey Maines also trying to figure out, as we watch the battle up here for 3rd place, Brian Chu losing the battle to Christian Delgado, falling back towards the clutches of one Jalen Battle, who sits in 9th place.
Battle still mired in traffic. All he's going to do is follow Charles Robertson through. Robertson looking for his 2nd win on the day after winning the Xfinity race earlier this afternoon. Looking to get the double up here. As Battle looks to the inside, Robertson runs him down to the apron. Here comes Wright all over the back bumper of Battle.
Battle wants to move forward. Wright has no stake in this game. Wright just wants to finish as well as they possibly can. Battle out here trying to figure out how to pass cars for a potential shot at the championship, and he's got to be stuck in a weird spot, Tony, where it's, I want to go, but this isn't really somebody I want to fight with, right?
He's got to be thinking big picture. Now, he does have some of the fresher tires, as he was last down pit road 4 tires on lap 74. Brian Chu is continuing to fade.
Fernando gets shoved wide. That's another position that the 24 gets himself a shot at. Jalen Battle looks to make that, gets that pass done pretty easily here. And so does the 16, GB Cooper. No joke coming. Rolling on board with Jalen Battle as you see the battle in front of him. 14 looking down to the inside of the 50, and we are side by side for 6th place. Charles Robertson making that pass, giving a nice avenue there for Jalen Battle to get past Kiko there in the 50.
And look who the next car in line is. That's Brian Chu's M&M's number 18. Battle can see him.
We are approaching 40 laps to go. When these guys complete this lap, we have 40 laps to go, which I believe doesn't bring home a fuel run, especially with the fact that we've been running green flag for a little while. 1 pit stop still remains for these guys. Lots of tires still sitting in the pits. These guys anticipating a little bit more of a green flag run where things are going to get split up. But we're looking at 1 to 2 tire sets in the pits for some of our front runners, and well, obviously AJ Green sitting 27th place out of contention for the championship. He actually played a run early on as to try to save an extra set of tires.
Did try to save an extra set of tires, but right now, Francisco Villarreal being chased down by Double B in the Double Deuce. That Taylor Butcher Benjamin in the Pennzoil Nuclear Banana for Penske Autosport. Currently sits
Nuclear Banana.
What?
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. The Nuclear Banana.
The Nuclear Banana is coming for the lead. That's a new one for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tony.
You'll get used to it. Jalen Battle, though, up into 6th place right now as he has gotten by Brian Chu. Jalen Battle, your current chase leader, sits in 6th. Charles Robertson in front of him is your biggest mover, plus 35. What a run Robertson has had. Started deep in the Xfinity field and is already sitting plus 35 in 5th right now here in the Cup race. And we've got a ton of racing left to go, as well as the money stop still needs to get done and dusted.
You brought up the money stop there, and I want to ask you a question here, Tony. Given the iSNF has 45 car fields, you know there's cars everywhere on track. You know there's battles everywhere on track. Do you risk taking that short pit?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Not even a debate there, Tony.
Give me fresh tires. Because if you take a look at the fall off these guys are seeing, after only 25 laps, you're looking at about a full second of fall off. Go back to Brian Chu, who has some of the oldest tires on track. He's almost at 2 seconds of fall off right now. Yes, give me the fresh shoes. I want 4 Mr. Feelgoods and a fresh tank and go fast as soon as I get into that window of you can make it from here.
I'm going to say these guys are probably, if they're not in the window, they got to be close to it. It's a 65%. Wow, there goes Jalen Battle next to the wall there.
LW Wright ran him up the track.
Wright.
LW Wright ran him up the track going into 3. Battle gives plenty of room. Didn't want any part of that.
Battle knows what he's racing for. LW Wright is just trying to get spots, trying to get as close to the front of the pack. It's basically racing for wins versus racing for a title here.
You are absolutely correct, sir. As we're going to check back into the bottom half of the top 10. There's Brian Chu in 8th, Jeff Weimer in 9th, Zach Phillips in 10th, and Ethan Wolf in 11th. Throw a blanket over those guys right now. As Phillips and Weimer go door to door, Phillips able to wrestle the spot. So Phillips up into 9th, Weimer back to 10th, and Weimer might lose out to Wolf behind him. It's Ethan Wolf all over the back bumper of that number 10 right now for Stuart Haas Racing. And just like that, Wolf up into 10th, and he might lose a couple more spots as here comes Horton and Hernandez. Hernandez bangs the wall again. He's got to be careful. That's not the first time Hernandez has gotten into that outside wall coming off before. He's got to be thinking big picture. That, especially with the latest damage model that iRacing has rolled out, parts are going to fatigue rather quickly from this point forward.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't feel comfortable touching the wall in these cars at all. Seems to be working, but to watch the battle now between Hernandez and the 4. Sorry, Hernandez is the 4. He's working the 10 car
Of Weimer.
Trying to figure out a way around Weimer, but looks like Weimer is a little bit slower than this pack. Here comes the 4 down to the inside, and here comes the 62 of Horton down to the inside of the 26. 26 is one that we saw get a little bit sideways before. Got caught up in an earlier crash, but still racing on the lead lap. It is Ethan Wolf who is losing a spot for the top 10 right now. Doing his best to stick around on that top side. Pinches real hard. Coming through 1 and 2 right there. Ethan Wolf does not want to give up this top 10 spot. He's had himself a heck of a day. We saw him get sideways, turned around a couple of times, or a little bit before. And here comes the 18, Brian Chu, making the first of the major pit stops, money stops. LW Wright also coming in.
Remember what I said? As soon as we get into the you can make it from here territory, I want fresh tires. Brian Chu, right on the same game plan I would have if I was in a similar situation. Not that that's ever actually happened. But, as I'm going to bring up Justin Horton again in the Wendy's number 62, you ever want a good read on, I believe it's on Twitter? Take a look at some of the clapbacks Wendy's comes up with.
Twitter, yeah. Wendy's is one of the most, if not the most savage companies on social media, and it is absolutely insane to watch.
Jalen Battle down pit road. Battle inside the window. If you can make it from here, he's going to take fresh tires. Villarreal now works the back bumper of the 19. That, unfortunately, is John Hopley, who's multiple laps down at this point. Rhea Ferris being scored as the last car on the lead lap, back in 20th. And
you've got to wonder, did Battle's call to come to the pits have anything to do with Brian Chu?
It absolutely did. I can promise that.
If he can stay out in front of Brian Chu, he's got himself a good shot at this championship. But if a caution were to come out when these guys are stuck a lap down, well, that would just separate the race from the win versus the race for the championship.
Correct.
Guys, both sitting 1 lap down right now as we watch Francisco Villarreal lead the race right now. A little bit of side-by-side action. You watch
and there they are.
Trying to come back up in front of the 33. Didn't get it done too late. Well,
this is for position.
Brian Chu, yes. Brian Chu all over the back bumper of Jalen Battle. Side by side, this is the championship battle right here. Battle goes in deep.
Sends it on the outside, able to hang on. Chu gonna battle back, coming off of 2. Down the back straightaway. Chu now in the slipstream of Jalen Battle. And these guys are in an absolute brawl for this championship. Oh, we got problems.
And there goes the hard into the wall. The caution has just come out. And I tell you what, both of these guys are sending 1 lap down. We've got a race for the win and a race for the championship. Ryan Chu and Jalen Battle nose to tail right here as the caution has just come out for a huge crash with Kiko Garcia getting turned around head on into the wall. We'll take a look at this.
He gets into it with the 1 here. You see Garcia on the low side. Osario on the high shelf. The 33 just going to dive it in, sends the 50 up into the wall, and around go both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked like a bad bump to me. 33 got into the back of the 50 and sent him straight up into the 1. And
yeah, unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. Let's take another look at this one. Watch the 33. He's going to charge it coming in, and he's going to get into the 50. Dives down the track, gets into the 50 there, sends him up. That was netcode.
It likely was, and the 33 went on a wide entry trying to cut down.
Let's watch that again.
33 takes a really wide entry trying to cut down below all of this stuff happening in front of him and just unfortunately clips the back bumper of the 50. Watch that wide entry, comes back down, trying to clip that yellow line and get down below, but unfortunately doesn't quite have the space, gets into the back of the 50, and we've got ourselves a game-changing caution as most of our leaders have pitted. Take another look here on the back of the 50 car.
That was
netcode.
That was netcode at its finest, folks.
I won't say contact wouldn't have happened, but netcode definitely did its thing right there.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, Kiko Garcia having to spend a lot of time getting that suspension re-put on that car. As we are 22 laps to go. And look who won the pony. Brian Chu and Jalen Battle are now both back on the lead lap, waiting to get the wave around as they've both just come down pit road prior to that caution coming out. A whole slew of cars trying to get the wave around now.
And that has got to be bittersweet for the 18 because he has older tires than the 24 in front of him. Obviously, it's great to get that lap back.
By 2 laps.
Stay with the 24.
It's 2 laps difference. And if they didn't stay out, or if only one of them stayed out, race over right there.
Both of these guys were, I don't know, they had a chance to pit, and they couldn't do it. So,
well, they'd already come down for essentially what is their money stop. They can make it to the natural finish from here. And now it's just important to just get back on the lead lap. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're playing the proverbial game at this point. Trying to get back on the lead lap. Trying to make sure that they're in contention when all is said and done. And neither one of them wants to let the other one get far away. And lights should be going out on the pace car this time by. So all those wave arounds. And yep, there we go.
a lot of wave arounds happening here. As we mentioned, our championship contenders getting that lap back. Still nose to tail, but Villarreal is going to be your leader with looks like Taylor Butcher Benjamin to his outside. The 13 of Jackson Carr moves to the inside. Christian Delgado, Charles Robertson, Justin Horton, Angel Hernandez, Jason Ricketts, Mike Hamlin, and Dave Seats rounding out your top 10. Tell you what, we got 20 laps to go right now. 19 at the restart. This is going to be a show and a half.
It absolutely is. Villarreal needs to get a clean getaway. Now, everybody is on fresh tires. Within the last 10 laps, everybody has been down pit road to get 4 fresh Mr. Feelgoods. As the pace car peels on off, Villarreal going to lead us into the Geico restart zone. Double B in the double deuce, starting to his outside. Into the zone they go.
Green, green, green.
Villarreal holds them down, stacks up the inside line, and here we go. 19 laps left in this one.
Jackson Carr was able to get a clean pass for second as Butcher Benjamin is trying to defend from the outside of Delgado and Robertson as they're both side by side. Here comes the 62 up on the top side, now moves down to the bottom, trying to figure out which way to go through this battle in front of him. Trying to take advantage of one of those spots as you see the 31 get a little bit sideways there. Here comes the 62 of Justin Horton trying to take advantage of it. But Villarreal has himself still a 2-car length lead going into turn number 1.
Checking back in with our championship battle. There is Jalen Battle as he's trying to work his way through traffic, already up into 20th. Brian Chu glued to his back bumper as they both work their way around Johnny Osorio.
Brian Chu has to be saying, I will let you push through this as long as I can get to you at the end. I'm going to stick to your back bumper, make you work your tires off passing these guys. But also, one thing to Kind of think about these guys unable to take tires that last time as they took the wave around. So.
They'd only taken tires about 5 laps earlier, so it's a moot point as far as that goes. As
here comes the 24 on the inside. Look to the inside of the 23 or 33 rather. Fernando likes to take a wide entry to corners and get down to the bottom. Clearly it was not what the 24 wanted to see, as still Ryan Chu all over his back bumper. Both guys make the pass on the 55. However, Jackson Carr holds on to the race lead in the Francisco
Villarreal still in the race lead. They're 3 wide. Matty Moniak shoots the gap up through the middle of 43, wisely backing out of it. He's a lap car anyways. Tristan Rivers gets out of the way as here comes Battle to the outside of the 33. Making it happen the hard way around, has the 17. That's another lap car in front of him. That's Derek Cook.
Done. Now there's a lap car, or there's a car of separation and a lapped car that the 24 is working over, trying to create 2 cars of separation. Brian Chu still unable to get around the 33. Jalen Battle doing everything he needs to right now. He sits in 18th place. But right now, that is enough to win him the championship if he can keep that M&M's Toyota Camry behind him. Chu, not trying to waste any time, looks to the top side of the 33, completes the pass on the 17. 17 might have smacked the wall just a little bit, but Brian Chu trying to figure out how to get around this 33, and I tell you what, that's not going to be an easy pass to make, as we have seen Fernando give absolutely everything at any moment throughout the course of this race. That is a guy who wants to fight hard.
Here we go.
Every position, and you see him do it right there. He doesn't care who he's racing. He is racing as now the 18 looks down to the inside. Battle has about 8 car lengths on this pack, maybe 10. But 18 able to get around the inside, get to the inside, and get around and contact. The 33 gets turned. He saves it, though.
He was trying to shut the door, and Matty Moniak was having none of it.
I tell you what, man, he has done his absolute best to run his quickest lap times and everything, but you can only shut a door so many times before somebody puts their foot in it, and that's exactly what happened right there.
Jalen Battle now has another lap car of Jesus Menendez between himself and Brian Chu, but he's got an angry pack of wolves in front of him that he's going to have to negotiate very carefully if he wants to get as far away from Chu as he can. Chu doing everything he can to try to reel in Battle right now as Villarreal continues to run away with this one. 10 laps to go. Battle and Chu currently running 17th and 19th is Battle working the inside of Rhea Ferris. She gives plenty of room, doesn't want to be that person.
Moves up to the top side as there's a race for position right in front of him. And I tell you what, every single driver in front of Battle has it in their ear. The championship battle is right behind you.
Battle
want you
into
to
the
get
wall.
This next spot, but don't mess him up, you know? And
Battle caught the wall coming off before. That's definitely going to cost him a little bit, because now he works the outside of Weimer. Coming through 1 and 2.
Wide.
3 wide.
Here comes the 27. Got a little bit of contact from the 10. 27 is the big loser there. And here comes Battle back down to the inside. I thought that was a big loss going wide in turn 1 and 2. But it turns out to benefit the 24 as more contact out of 4. Brian Chu doing absolutely everything he can to work through this pack that we just saw the 24 get through. Less than 10 laps to go. We've got 8 laps to go to decide a champion. And the 27 goes way wide there. Here comes the 78. Big push towards the back of that 18 Toyota Camry. Chu might not have enough as we come to 7 laps to go for your race leader, Francisco Villarreal.
And there you can see the gap. This is what the roof of Brian Chu's race car looks like. He's starting to reel in as Battle's getting held up by the cars in front of him.
Well, I tell you what, Brian Chu, like you mentioned at the beginning of this thing, he is one who knows how to work his tires through a long run. If this is where he's going to show what he's got, there's not a better time to show what he's got, show what he can do, and try to be the best of the iRacing Sunday Night Fever Cup Series here at Nashville. So we have 6 laps to go. We're coming to 5 laps to go as we watch Brian Chu defend, but Francisco Villarreal holds on to about a 3-car length lead over the number 13 car of Jackson Carr. Carr has been phenomenal throughout the course of this race. Hasn't quite led. I don't think he's taken the lead once.
He did for a very short time. He led in the early going. But right now, this battle for the championship is a slugfest. Jalen Battle in 15th. Brian Chu back in 17th. L.W. Wright in between the two of them. And a 1.5-second gap from L.W. Wright to Brian Chu. As that is a lap car giving Chu some pressure. 4 laps to go.
4 laps to go, and Brian doesn't seem to have enough time. Jalen Battle looking to the top side, now to the bottom of the 10 car, getting down into turn 3, looking to establish his nose, gets the job done. Brian Chu sits about 2 seconds back from this right now. Jalen Battle less than 3 laps away from a championship right now. Francisco Villarreal, we can't take away from him, less than 3 laps away from another race win, but he's got a hot number 13 right on his back bumper. Hasn't left 3 car lengths away. That 13 is going to be doing absolutely everything he can to try to get this race win.
Popsicle sticks in the air.
Shout out to Christian Delgado as well, leading the pack behind these guys. That's about a 3-car pack there. That's 62 of Horton looking to the outside. Delgado doing a phenomenal job of defending. We have 2 laps to go in this race, and I tell you what, there's too many storylines to try to break apart. This 13 is doing everything he's got, and he is now 1 car length away.
We are racing back to checker. White flag in the air. Francisco Villarreal trying to hold off Jackson Carr for the final part of this race. Down the back straightaway they come with a good head of steam. Carr in the slipstream. Going to have one final shot at Villarreal as they haul it into turns 3 and 4. Villarreal just has to keep it. Just has to keep it off the wall. Villarreal going to win the battle here at Nashville.
Speaking of battle, Jalen Battle
wins the
is
war.
going to come up of turn number 4 to win the championship. Brian Chu too far back to make anything happen. Jalen Battle finishes 12th position, but finishes first throughout the season. And wow, what a race. There was too much to talk about, especially with you and me being good at talking. Battle, your champion for Season 4 of the iRacing Sunday Night Fever Cup Series.
Absolutely.
Let's just give him a moment to celebrate here before we get our race winner up in chat and get our champions, or podium and champion up in chat. Let's just watch our man celebrate right here.
Let me see if I can find FJ. There he is. As we are actually going to reach out now to the man who won the battle, Francisco Villarreal. Welcome back to iSNF.
It feels good to be back, to be honest. It's been a while.
Been too long, my friend.
That number 6 Ford Mustang looked hot today, but it seemed like you were kind of biding your time in the first half. Did you know you were sorry? Did you know you had race winning speed from the start, or?
Well, I mean, I competed in the eNASCAR College Series just I think a month ago, probably less. So we were at this track, so I kind of had the line down. So all I had to do was figure out how the next gens were gonna handle here. Once I figured it out, it was just a matter of saving tires, being patient, and hitting my marks. So yeah, I just put in a little bit of practice, and I was able to realize I had a top 5 car.
Can I ask you a question? How do you pronounce your last name?
Villarreal.
Yeah,
Villarreal?
close enough. Everybody can pronounce it. You got to roll the Oz.
Gotcha. Well, anyways, FJ, congratulations on the victory here. Are we going to have any shot at seeing you back in a full-time ride next season?
As a matter of fact, yes, I will be back next season as a full-time driver. So I will be in here every single week, or at least try to be. But yes, I will be a full-time driver next season.
Awesome. That makes me so incredibly happy to see that you are coming back to the series. We're going to let you celebrate this victory here tonight in Music City. Who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
Oh, I mean, well, shout out to, iSNF for putting on this race. I know they've had a long season, even though I was not part of the majority of it. Shout out to them. Shout out to y'all for putting on the broadcast. Shout out to Rio for, going through all the effort. Moniac, everybody that puts this stuff on. Shout out to my gaming org, the Leviathans. And also shout out to Arrested Gaming, who I've recently become a part of. So I appreciate all the support from everybody, and it's been fun.
Francisco Villarreal, congratulations on yet another victory here in the iSNF Cup Series. Looking forward to seeing you full-time next season. Best of luck to you, my friend.
Appreciate it.
And Liam, I believe you've got Jackson Carr with you now.
Yeah, we've got Jackson Carr, our second place finisher here, and I tell you what, second place doesn't begin to tell the story of your race. Kind of walk us through that first half, and
All right.
you gained a bunch of spots from where you started. Walk us through that, and then.
All right. I had a terrible qualifying. Completely blundered it, and I went from 10th to 4th in about 2 laps. So that was good. I burned my tires, but it was really good to get up there. And then later in the race, I pit and nobody went with me, and I didn't take tires because I knew there was going to be a caution late on. So I started in mid-20s with a full tank of gas and on old tires, and that was terrible. So I'm glad I got it to the front through a little bit of strategy. And that end, my spotter told me it was go time. I dropped the brake bias down 5%, and I was just throwing it in there. And maybe a couple more laps I could have got to him. I definitely would have put the bumper to him if I got the opportunity. Would not have wrecked him, but maybe just give him a little shove into 3.
And I tried to, wait on the end of it. But, man, at the end of it, those last 5 laps, you were really pushing. You closed that gap. You obviously mentioned you would put the bumper to him. But, kind of walk us through that last couple of laps, that battle there for the race win.
Yeah, I knew because of the last run that I was faster long run, because I think I was 2 or 3 tenths faster than first and second at the end of the run. So I knew I'd have a shot late, and I got into that little dirty air, and it just mid-corner, you just couldn't turn. So I was having to go down to 4th gear in 1 and 2, and it was a struggle. I wish dirty air wasn't so bad. Wish this track didn't eat up tires like it did, but almost got there. I think a lap more, maybe 2, I definitely could have got to his bumper.
Well, rock on, man. You put on a phenomenal show today. Who do you want to thank for such a strong performance?
I want to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, everybody at Burnt Rubber Racing, Jason for spotting me in that last part. Everybody that was in the VC I was in helping me with telling me their tire percentages, and that's about it.
Oh, rock on. Congratulations on your second place finish. And yeah, we'll hopefully catch you next time. You got a plan for next season? You coming back with us, or?
Yep. My plan is to win. I'm sick of getting podiums. Got a podium earlier today. Only got one win in podiums. So
Tell you what, that's the best plan I've heard. So thanks for joining us. And yeah, Tony, we got Christian Delgado here.
Christian, all things considered, can't be too disappointed gaining 18 spots to come home on the podium here in Music City.
Yeah, definitely a good run for me in the Cup Series. I've ran a couple races in here, and usually have gone in some bad luck. So glad to come home with a podium.
You definitely came home with a podium, strong podium at that, and you were in an absolute slugfest with Justin Horton there in the closing laps.
Yeah, I knew that I was really good on the short run, so I tried with the restart zone the way it is. I know the second place driver can't, has to kind of back off when on that last restart when it was 20 to go or so. So I tried to push Taylor as much as I could, and I got him clear the inside, and then I dropped in, and then I just tried to push as hard as I could to get past. I think it was the 10, and about 2 laps to go. I think I just used my stuff up a little bit too much and started sliding back just a little bit. But luckily, the tires started burning off just at the right time, so that I lost position.
Well, Christian, we only saw you the last half of this season in your rookie campaign. It's safe to assume we're going to see you full-time next season as well?
I don't know about full-time, but I for sure am going to come back for as many races as I can. I'm not signed to a Cup team, so I'll definitely take the opportunities when they're given to me. But yeah, super excited about next season. I'll be running full-time in the Xfinity Series, though, in this league. Super excited.
Sounds great. Who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate the podium here tonight?
Like to thank all the good clean racing at the front. I'd like to thank my teammate Lilith for racing with me tonight, trying to be a good teammate. She didn't have as good of a race as she'd probably want. Got to shout out Justin Horton and Jackson Carr and Jason T. Middleton for being in the car racing with me, giving me company. Shout out to twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13, cheering me on this whole time. Like I said, we've had a lot of bad luck this year when I've had a fast car. I've been, circumstances when it came to, the X count and stuff like that. So, and then shout out to shout out to you guys, the broadcast. You guys put this on every night and let us showcase off our talents, and couldn't do it without you guys.
All right, Christian Delgado, congratulations on the podium. Best of luck to you next season.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And joining us now is the man of the hour, the man who we spoke with before the race, and I think we can officially say we have broken the announcer's curse. Jalen Battle, congratulations on your Cup championship.
Oh wow, that one feels nice. Thank you guys. Just before we even get into the race, just shout out to all the guys at Hendrick Motorsports, and Maria and her team. It's been a good season. We've had our ups and downs. We've personally had our ups and downs throughout the season, but came off strong here at the end. I just want to give a big shout out to Brian Cheer really quickly, just because I respect him a lot as a driver, and us racing there clean at the end. It was just straight mono there. Best car got there up front. Had to go back through traffic with that late race yellow, but oh man, finally, third time's a charm.
Absolutely. Jalen, again, congratulations. You've had such an amazing season. 9 career wins in the iSNF. Between your first race win and this championship, which one feels better?
You know, winning a race is always great when you can be the class of the field to go out lead laps and win the race. It's always a fantastic feeling. You never know when you're not going to get in there and win or if you're going to go in a slump. So, but I definitely just think just putting an entire season together has just been my goal. Come up short. I think the first or second year I joined iSNF, got second place, and then the year after that I got another second place. So just was really trying to not be a Denny Hamlin or a Carl Edwards and just always come that close. So it definitely just, this one feels so much better. Even if we didn't win the race, I don't think we had a fast car on the short run. I think we had something maybe on the long run here. I just couldn't really drive it in the corner and make it stick how some of these guys were. And getting through traffic, like I kind of expected, was just really tough. Old tires just didn't seem to really wear out. I don't know. It took about 10 laps for that to happen. So, but no, definitely it feels nice. We didn't get to win. I think we got P12 there, and our teammate, I think Steven Sear got P11.
Yes.
I have to go back and look at the order there, but yeah. So yeah, great day for Hendrick, and then just a solid day, just staying out of trouble there, and just being there at the end is what counted.
Again, Jalen Battle, congratulations. Much a deserved champion as there ever was. You finally got that, pardon the phrase, but you got the monkey off your back there as far as finally getting that breakthrough in the championship. Safe to assume you're going to be back behind the wheel of the Hendrick Motorsports 24 next season?
Yeah, we'll get back in this thing and go for another one. Now that we got the first one down, we can go for 2 in a row. That'll be fun to walk there and see what happens next season. But again, just before we get out of here, again, thank you to Rhea and her team. We had a crazy field today for Nashville, which is crazy. I didn't think we'd have that if it's not Superspeedway. And then again, you guys for always putting on a great podcast. Just always happy to run this league, and yeah, definitely be back next year.
Jalen, go celebrate that championship. Congratulations, and we'll see you next season.
All right, thanks, guys.
And joining us now, the man who just came up a tick short, Brian Chu. All things considered, you had an amazing season, sir.
Yeah, just I guess every time you lose, you kind of have some regrets. I guess I regret staying out the caution before last. I was trying to get a lick up on AJ and Jalen because I think they're a tick faster on track. So I just had strategy in the back of my head the whole time. So I was keeping a extra set of tires in case of a late caution. Unfortunately, I had no fuel left to keep going. So on that last stop, I don't think Jalen knew that I was out of fuel. So he did pit. And I seen him come out the next lap. I was a little surprised. So I knew I was still in the ball game. But yeah, once that happened, I was hoping for a caution after the last one to get me to get the extra set of tires and have a shot at it. But never came. I was banking on it. Just didn't happen. But, to get into the 4 like I did last week, and I believe this is second in 3 of the last 4 seasons, I've hung in there. I think a couple of these younger guys are a little bit tick faster than me, but I just keep doing my best, and maybe one day I'll pay off,
Well, just remember, Brian, old age and treachery will overcome youth and skill any day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I always say it's just, hey, I feel when I think of strategy, well, I'm always thinking a lot more than some of the kids are just kind of dive bombing it and, wearing their tires out pretty early. And I kind of think ahead a little bit for the long game. So I think this experience for me, and that kind of keeps me in the ball game in some of these races. But I do want to say congrats to Jalen. Coming into this championship, if I was going to lose to anyone, it'd be him. I really respect him. He's a great driver. We're always clean around one another, and it's very fun. Racing side by side with him week in and week out for the last couple of years. I also want to thank my teammates, Chris Worrell, who won't be back next season, but he's been such an inspiration and help for me. I do appreciate him and all the help he's given me. Appreciate John and some of the other guys in booth clearance. And we got new teammates coming on board next season. So appreciate all of them. Appreciate Rhea for putting this on. I know it's a lot of hard work for her. So appreciate her, and appreciate you guys up in the booth.
All right, Brian Chu, again, heartbreak, but best of luck to you next season, sir.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
And that puts another one in the books for us. Let's take a quick look at our finishing order tonight. Francisco Villarreal making his return to the league in winning fashion, coming home with the victory. Jackson Carr hanging on for second. Yet another podium. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Look for that to change next season. Jackson Carr is very determined. Christian Delgado, Justin Horton, and Charles Robertson rounding out your top five. Robertson getting the biggest mover award at plus 35, coming home in fifth tonight. Angel Hernandez hanging on for sixth. Taylor Butcher Benjamin in seventh. Mike Hamlin, Jason Ricketts, and Joey Maines rounding out your top 10. Stephen Sear, Jalen Battle, your champion, coming home in 12th. L.W. Wright in 13th. Johnny Castle, Jeff Weimer, Matty Moniak, Brian Chu in 17th. Chris V in 18th. Ria Ferris and Johnny Osorio rounding out the top half of the field. Liam?
Yeah, then we've got we got Fernando there, Dave Seats, Carlos Marquez, Jesus Menendez, Adrian Arenas, Tommy Stanley, Justin Barkley, John Hopley in 28th. Jumping back towards the end, Garrett Cook in 29th, Isaac Wilson, Kiko Garcia, Ethan Wolf, Zach Phillips, Casey Tomlinson, AJ Green, Michael Iskandar, Tristan Rivers, Ricky Hudgen, Brian Treadwell, Rodney Roberts, Joshua Grosso, Jake Brooks, the hometown hero, had a bad showing today. Clarence Prince, Hermie Sadler, and Brady Shue rounding out the field. Very stacked field here today, full field, and
that is going to about do it for us here tonight from the iSNF Sunday Night Fever Cup Series. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you don't miss a single moment of action here coming up on Sim Racing Media. Yes, it's the holidays, but we still have action all week long. So he's Liam Irving. I'm Tony Trapasso. Remind you, ladies and gentlemen, to have a happy and safe holiday season until we meet again after the first of the year. Make sure you get with family and let your loved ones know that you care. And whatever you do between now and the time we meet again, please don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.